Boss man, let me talk to you. That is, man. You've been standing diligent listening, man. Let me ask you, so you believe in the Bible? Yes, what's your name? Ron Mitchell. You said Ron Mitchell. Okay. Is that the Eye of Ra in there? Okay. So that's what you believe is do you believe that we came from Egypt, or do you believe that what do they call it? Egyptology, Kemetic studies,
more commission studies.
More commission studies. Okay. Let me ask. So you study it well. Who were the commissions? Who were the Kemetic people?
The originally employed the slaves.
Okay. Now, were the Egyptians the only Kemetic people?
No.
Who else?
Murians, Atlanteans.
Give me the modern language, the modern term. Make sure everybody understands the conversation we had.
I would say Masons.
Okay. All right.
In a sense, as far as making it modern, Magi or just your mystical spiritual teachers, your 5%ers.
Right.
It depends on how you want to.
Yeah. So they all believe in the Kemetic sciences, right?
Right.
But what I'm asking though is, we know that the Egyptians were bloodline Kemetics, right?
Okay.
Name the other bloodline Kemetics besides just the Egyptians. There were other everybody. The reason I ask this is because everybody, when they go into the Kemetic sciences,
Right.
the first thing that they say is they normally say one of two things. They're either gonna say Egypt or they're gonna say Cush.
Okay.
Like the Cushites, right? Because the Egyptians and the Cushites were brothers. Now, what's interesting is Cush, they use a more ancient name.
Correct.
Because, sorry about that. All right. So they use a more ancient name for Cush because Cush was actually their original name, right?
Right.
Before you go into the Abyssinians and all the different names, Nubians and so forth. Had another ancient name, and that was Mizraim.
Heard that before, but not regularly.
Okay. Mizraim was the name that was appointed to them after the flood by their father, whose name was Ham.
Understood.
Which is the language, in the language we speak. Now, in the foreign language, it was Kim or Kemetic or Kim. Right?
Correct.
So now there was two other groups that were also Hamitic people. The Libyans.
Okay.
The original Libyans before Muammar Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi was an Ishmaelite.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
He was after the conquering, after the Second Punic War.
Okay.
So he was an Ishmaelite. He was an invader. Yes, sir. He was an Arabian by blood. Then you had the Canaanites.
Correct.
The people that were the Philistines, the Canaanites, the Amorites, the Hittites. Right? That lived in northeast Africa, but today we call it what? Israel.
Arab.
Right, we call it Israel today, actually. In the lands of Israel, Palestine, Gaza, all of those places.
We call Israel today.
Right, that's what we call that land. Okay. Now, who are we though? What do we call ourselves? Who got the Bible dictionary? Who has a dictionary? Can you reach down there in my bag in that front pocket?
The Ham definition.
But
yes.
I'm not sure if that's the question you're asking.
Okay, well no, so that goes into the question I'm asking. But so you accept then the information that we're given, and you would identify at this point, you could say safely that you're an Israelite? Okay, because you understand that this happened to you. You identify with this, right? Here's the thing. This did not happen to the Egyptians.
That's right.
This did not happen to the Ethiopians, which are the Cushites. It happened to us. Right. Now, the Native Americans, did it happen to them? How about the Hispanics? Mexico, Puerto Rico, Cuba, South America, did it happen? Yes. So that's how we know that we are Israel. Now let me show you.
Africans don't even respect us that don't know.
Exactly.
They know that.
Exactly.
We don't know.
Yeah, they know it. All right, watch this. Read that.
This is the Compact Bible, the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 213.
Read.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races.
So he was the forefather or the beginning of the dark races, which we are, right? So there's many dark races, right? So watch what he says. Read. Not the Negroes. So the dark race called the Negroes did not come out of Ham. A very different people.
So that is not all of us.
That is not all of us. Because the people that they found over in Australia, the Aborigines, they actually come from Japheth. They're a Japhetic people. But remember how God, give me Genesis 2 and 7. We're gonna dig back to the back and dig in deeper, okay? Because as a comedic scientist, probably the thing that drew you in was the depth of information that you got, right? And it was things that you wanted to hear that you like, man, this makes sense. Because you like hearing something that took us further back than just 1619, right? Okay, read that.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 7.
Read.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
So the Bible says that the first men on earth were created from the dust of the ground, which we know is the soil, the dirt, right?
The difference between being made and created.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay? So now, the deeper you dig in this ground over here, what's going to happen?
It's lighter.
Darker.
It's darker.
The soil gets darker the deeper you go. So that's why you have a variation of skin tones, but everybody from the beginning was created a person of color.
That's right.
But there was a time that things began to be split. Go to Deuteronomy 32 and 8.
Bring it up. Bring
So
it
you
up.
understand, we came from the ground, everybody was born with color. So Japheth had color. That's why we can look at them now with the Aborigines. We can look at them in the over in the islands, Hawaii, and going back further east. They were scattered into those islands, right? So they were all dark people like us. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
Now notice, he said from Adam. So that means from the creation of the earth, God had us as a separate people and he separated all people. So it was never meant for us all to be one people. All right? So I think earlier the officer was speaking about the rallies that happen, and it's good, but we actually are supposed to gather with our own people. Because the way that God set the earth up was that, hey, you're of this group, so you go this way. You're this group, you go that way. Right?
Our mistake was the integration.
That's right.
Segregation is the
Bring it up.
thing that's needed.
Absolutely.
Not in a bad way, but just
Right, just for the sake of us being with our people. Right. Because the thing that's happened to us now, do we rely on each other? When there's trouble in our community, do we only go to our community to solve? No, we go to the other nation.
we skipping everybody but our own.
Right.
Problems in the house.
Right. Read that.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Read.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
So the Bible said that God commanded the nation that is not desired, meaning the people that are seen as the outcast, he said, gather yourselves together. So today we know that that's the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The last hired, first fired. The undesirable people. When we move into a neighborhood, what they say, there goes the neighborhood. Right. They start selling it. The value of the properties begin to be lower, right? So it's what you see with gentrification all through here. You grew up in Pleasant Grove?
No, I'm from Arlington.
Okay, you from the Ag. Okay, cool. In Arlington. If you go to South Arlington right now, right? What's going on in South Arlington? Gentrification.
They building up and now it's time for them to come through.
Right. If you were going into Arlington in the 80s, it was good living. You was living like the Huxtables if you was a black man in Arlington.
That's right.
In 2019, you in Arlington, you liable to get your wig split.
Very much so.
You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen to you in Arlington, just like it would in any one of the hoods inside of Fort Worth or Dallas. So once we move in, the property drops down. They take our money, make us sell the house for less than what it's worth. They get it back, and instantly once they rehab it, it's worth $150,000 more, so we can't even go back and buy it back. You understand what I'm saying?
The same thing in Houston when they did
All around the earth, yes sir. So listen to this again, read that.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
So he said the nation not desired, and we know that the nation that he's speaking of is the 12 tribes, the nation of Israel. right? Okay, so now, in gathering together, how should we gather together? What do you think the objective would be if God told us to gather together? Should we gather together, one of us being Muslim, one of us being Israelite, one of us being Christian, one of us being Kemetic? Under the same flag. Ezekiel 37. Under the same flag. Because the prophecy is that in the end of things, that we all have to come back together as one people under one belief in order for one movement to be successful.
That's right.
You understand? But the main thing is understanding that it's not by our might or our power, it's going to be by the power of God.
Bring it out.
No philosophy of man is going to get us. Alright? Ezekiel 37, start at verse number 15. Watch this.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, and write upon it, for Judah, and for the children of Israel, his companions.
So the Bible said right here, take one stick, which is why you see this sign out here, and write for the children of Judah, which is the tribe of Judah, and the children of Israel, his companions, right? So that would be Benjamin and Levi. So we began to make up the southern kingdom, and God said, write it on a stick, right? All right, read that.
Verse 16. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it, for Judah and for the children of Israel his companions.
Read.
Then take another stick and write upon it, for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel his companions.
So now when you look there below, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, what's the next one you see? Ephraim. So that's the northern kingdom of Israel. So God said, write on a stick those names, right? Read.
And join them one to another.
And do what?
Join them one to another.
So what you're going to find is he's telling us to gather yourselves together, O nation not desired.
That's right.
Read.
Into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand.
So under God's hand is how we become one people.
That's right.
So when we gather together, it has to be under the laws of God.
That's right.
You understand? Give me, not man. So what we're doing out here, nothing that we've said so far has been our own word, right? Because in the curses, Deuteronomy 28, in the curses, it was very specific about why we had to do this, right? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and give me verse number, give me 15, start with 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments, and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So the problem was is that these 12 tribes were supposed to come back together and then keep the commandments of God, or else he was going to put curses on us.
That's right.
Right? So you already heard this part, right?
Some time ago.
Some time ago, verse 46.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So what's going to be on us or on the children of Israel for a sign?
They being the others.
I got it. Watch this. Read verse 45.
Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses.
All these what?
These curses.
So now start at 46. So keep in mind, curses. All these curses. Read.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So what's going to be the sign of who the children of Israel are? The curses.
That's right.
So if you fit these curses, right? And not only you, but watch this.
And for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
What's your seed? Your children.
That's right.
This was written 6,000 years ago, so it was talking to our forefathers back then. But who is it talking to today? Us.
That's right.
Because now we identify with the curses in this generation.
That's right.
You understand? So that's how we know that this is you. Right? So, by not keeping the commandments, there was another thing that was going to happen in these curses. Give me verse number, well, let's read down. Keep reading.
Verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
Because, Negroes hate to be in order. Negroes hate to hear that there's a book that tells you how you're supposed to live your life and you got to follow it.
Right.
The average Negro say, man, ain't no book to tell me what to do, man. Man, I got my own mind. You ain't got your own mind, man. We can live like we want to live. Really? The way we want to live is baby mama.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I need somebody that after I get drunk or high, about midnight I can call her because I know my 12 o'clock going to work. If I can't get to 12 o'clock, I'm going to go to the club, see if I can snatch one. If I can't snatch one, I got a 2 o'clock wait.
Right.
Bring it out.
I'm going to call at 2 o'clock and see if I can go holler at the 2 o'clock. So we're going to live, right, we're going to live in perpetual whoredom.
Right.
That's our mind.
Right.
When we don't like her no more and we tired of listening to her mouth, what we going to do? We're going to leave the house, her and the baby to hell with all of y'all.
Bring it out.
That's what we enjoy doing. But the Bible say, nah, bruh, you get her pregnant, you got to marry her. That's your woman for the rest of your life unless she cheat on you.
That's right.
But we don't like to hear that, though.
Teach on.
We like to hear YOLO. You only live once, bro. Get it in. Do what you do. Get it how you live.
Teach on.
We don't like to hear this. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, but the Bible say, read that again.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness,
So because we didn't enjoy serving God, read.
and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
We didn't enjoy serving God and we own everything. The entire earth is ours.
Right.
You understand? You can step up some, man, to get out there, son. Yeah. You can step up. The entire earth was created for us. So in comedic sciences, they say that we are what? What were we created to be? Gods.
That's right.
On earth, we are also what? Kings.
That's right.
So if we gods, then that means we're supposed to run the earth. But we don't do that, though. Right? And the Bible say because we didn't enjoy serving God for everything that he gave us, which is the entire earth. So he said, since you don't appreciate that I gave you the earth, I'm going to take it from you and put it in the hands of somebody else.
Right.
You understand?
And that's exactly why we are where we are.
That's why we are where we are.
We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Read that.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Who?
Thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So God said, look, I created you as a God on earth. I can't punish you like regular folks. So what I got to do is put you in slavery until you so tired of being beaten down, stepped on, and put down by other nations that you beg me to come back and make you a God again and give you this earth back and you're ready to take care of it the way I told you to.
That's right.
That's what the book is telling us. Read.
In hunger and in thirst.
So if we want food, Domino's, who owns it?
Not us.
Not us.
Bring it out.
The snow cone spot. I see your head in there. I see somebody working. I see somebody taking the money. Who taking the money?
Not us.
Not us.
That's
Because
right.
we don't own it.
Right.
All of these shops and stations around us, all of these grocery stores, all of this stuff around us is owned by the other nation.
Teach on.
And God said that would happen. In hunger, so our food we got to get from them. In thirst, everything we drink come from them. Read.
And in nakedness.
Every piece of clothing that you got on came from your enemy. Read.
Bring it out.
And in want of all things.
If you want a birth certificate, if you graduated high school and you got your diploma, if you want to get a certificate for a particular trade, if you want to get a college degree for a particular field, all of that got to come from, which is and the Bible calls them your what? Your enemies.
That's right.
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are Israelites. That's right. Take care of us. Take care of us. And our children too. And our children too. We have abandoned. We have repented. How about you? How about you? People want to know who's the king.
O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sound wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.